Hello and welcome to Jobs TV. My name's Matt Cook. I'm a director of a company called Kudos Recruits. I'm also director of a company called Quantum Video Productions Agency. And today's video is about advertising for staff. As we know, finding staff is not easy at the moment, and I'm sure you agree, sometimes we can all improve on our adverts, and I've got 10 hints and tips behind me that might help you. So let's get straight into that. So, number one, do you really understand the role? Well, as Albert Einstein says, if you can't teach a 6-year-old to understand it, you probably don't understand it yourself. And that's how you need to have that process in mind. You know, if you're looking for a CNC programmer and you haven't got a clue about what machines they use, what programs they use, what sort of work that they do, you're going to have great difficulty. You know as well as I do, I mean, I'm not a CNC programmer or a fabricator welder, and obviously HR people aren't either, but you have to put yourself into their shoes, and it's important that you're getting across the message of exactly what the job details are, because if they haven't operated that machine before, it's null and void. If they haven't used that particular program, or they've not fabricated with mild steel, for example, all these things, questions and answers, the candidate is going to be looking at that advert going, can I or can't I do it? Which helps you, of course. Are they going to have a tick? Really, in my advert, this is the truth in my opinion, your advert is really a tick box situation for the candidate. Can they do it? Yes. No. You get where I'm going with this. Because it's true, when candidates look at adverts, there's just scouting through, really. They're looking for something that's going to stand out. But it's also important that, especially in some technical roles and engineering roles, that you're detailing certain critical things in there. If you're not sure, as everybody asks, ask. So if there's a fabricator, welder manager out there on the shop floor, don't forget they're going to know more information than you and I. It's really important to ask some critical information. Does this sound good to you? Does this read right? Make sure that you have got your details bang on. Number 2, include salary. Wow. How many times have I seen adverts seen with negotiable salary? And I know, don't shout at me. I know I'm sure you found people with negotiable salary on there, but let me just explain a couple of reasons why I'm not a great fan of it. Firstly, I've had a lot of companies who I've worked for with negotiable salary on their advert. They've gone into the interview and the salaries come out in that interview and the applicant said, it's not for me. And if I'd have known that the salary was that, I would never have applied. Now, I'm not saying that happens on every occasion, but it has happened a lot. The other part to that can be a concern for you as well is, when a candidate sees something negotiable salary, you know what they instantly think? Do you want me on the cheap? Now, I know you're not, but that's what the candidate's feedback's been. In the 20 some odd years I've been in this industry, they are thinking it. If you're offering the right salary, put it on the advert. That's my advice. Number 3, cut out the jargon. And I've been guilty of this, by the way. I have wrote adverts out and I've looked back at it and gone, oh my God, it's waffle. Yeah? So, be very, very careful. Good idea is to put quite a lot of bullet points in. Don't make it war and peace. Keep it clear and concise. That's my advice. I've seen a lot of adverts in the past where it's like this long, it's like A4. People aren't going to apply with it because they've lost the concentration quarter of the way through and they're thinking, by the end of this, do I really want to bother? I know it seems a bit of a critical eye on my part, but really keep it simple. Put the critical information in, but don't go overboard. Point number 4, culture. purpose, ethos. I don't know if any of you have seen my first video, it's a lot about that in your business. Particularly if you're advertising for your vacancies on your website, it's really important that when they click onto your website, they really do know about what your purpose is as a company. What are the stepping stones for them to grow in your business? Believe me, the candidates will research you. They'll be checking on feedback from people who have worked there previously, and also there'll be other Facebook, Instagram, they'll be checking on there to see what people think of you, because in this world, post-COVID especially, a bad word can be thrown out across the world now, and that's technology for you, that's the way it is. So just be mindful that you are telling the world the purpose and the ethos of your business. Number 5, read your advert out loud. So if you've got a colleague in your office, read it out. I've done it many times, and then self-critique is definitely me, and I've gone, yeah, I can see it. Or I've had people in the office say to me over the years, actually, I tweaked this bit. I'm open to anything on criticism when it comes to advertising, because I want the person out there to press that button and apply. So it's really important that when you do when you read it out loud, more often than not, you'll see it as you go along, and it will also cut out mistakes. And also, when you read through it and you proofread it, you might have been a spelling mistake. I've been guilty of it. 20 years, I don't stand here saying 100%, absolutely not. I've made mistakes doing that, but it's important that you do check, because a spelling mistake, things like that, especially if you're advertising for an office role and you've got spelling mistakes all over your adverts, it's going to make people think twice about whether they're going to apply. It's worth thinking about. So, number 6, what's your essential requirements to the role? Do they need a forklift license? Have they got to have a qualification? If they do, especially on jobs boards now, you can ask the question, yes or no. The last thing you want is 100 applicants and only one of them is worthy of a conversation. We've all experienced it as recruiters, haven't we? Umpteen amounts of applicants, and probably less than 1% of them are ideal. Help yourself out, put questions in. Say, do you have a forklift license, or do they require a clean driving license? For whatever vacancy it is, make it clear and precise, and it will just cut down time for you, because obviously time's money. Number 7, check other competitors' adverts. Now, I'm not asking you to copy and paste them, and I've seen it. What I am saying to you is, what are they offering? What additional benefits are they offering? What salary are they offering? It's worth thinking about. Can you improve on their advert? If you've looked at the advert and gone, that doesn't look great, well, what can you do better? And make sure it stands out. Because if you both advertise at the same time, you want yours to stand out more than theirs. It takes very little time to check what your competitors are doing out there. My advice is do it. Number 8, are you offering enough money? That's a great question. Goes a little bit into what I said earlier. Check your competitors. It's one thing putting a salary out there, but if it doesn't meet your competitors out there and they're offering £2,000-3,000 or more a year, or a couple of pound an hour more, all right, check it out. My advice is, because your likelihood is, if you are getting applicants, they're probably not what you're looking for. Maybe for that extra 50p, a pound an hour, you're just going to pull through some better candidates. I mean, if you've got somebody who works in a company down the road from you, and you think, oh, if we could just get that person on board with us, and you're paying a little bit more money and they can see it, they're going to apply. It's worth thinking about. Number 9, Any additional information that could help, what could that be? Well, I'll tell you what it could be. You might offer a fantastic pension scheme, bonuses. If it's a sales role, do you offer a company car? If you do, star it. Let them know what you're doing, what your culture is. Goes back a bit earlier on, because any additional information for that candidate will help them press that button. Even to location, you know, on maps, just things like that. Especially if you're advertising directly to your business, it's great that they know clearly where you're based. So just food for thought there. You may even have on your website a video about your company and its culture. Links into what I said a bit earlier, but it's additional information on your website. They're going to look at it. If it's on Instagram or on Twitter, on Facebook. This is what people are doing now. They're checking. Technology has gone threefold over the last few years. Utilise it. Number 10, last but not least, call to action. It's great. Everybody's ticking the box. Everyone thinks it's a fantastic job. Where do I apply? I have seen it on some adverts where the call to action isn't there. Or there's a little narrative, call this number. Who? Who am I speaking to? Call HR. Great. I also think it'd be a good idea to call Angie or whoever it might be on that department on this line. It's a bit personal then, isn't it? Rather than just call HR number. I mean, I've seen it a lot, and I think you agree on this. When you look on some companies' websites, it's like an endless array of questions. You can't get through. Or you ring the number and the line's not working, or it just rings out. Just think about that. Sometimes if you've got a voicemail, it does go there. Make sure it's a clear message on there. Ring, sorry we're able to take your call. Please leave your name and number. We're back with you within this time frame. Because if you don't get back to them, for example, they've gone elsewhere. You've lost your applicant. So I hope the tips that I've put out there for you today help you. Thank you for watching. If you do like today's video, please like. And if you want to see more videos in the future, press subscribe. Thank you ever so much for watching.